So very, very casual conversation. I'm just going to go through a series of questions with you. Basically, what my podcast is behind closed deals, which is, we look at what social media projects about successful entrepreneurs and leaders, no matter what industry they're in. And it gives us this image of luxury and prestige and happiness and work-life balance and travel and cars and clothes. No one knows the mountains that you've had to climb to get there. No one knows how much hard work and dedication, how much failure had to go in that. No one knows the hurdles that you had to go through. How many times you said, I'm not doing this anymore. I just want to give up. So I like to, take leaders back to, for those individuals that want and strive to be a leader or an entrepreneur in today's world, what is it that what does it take to get to where you are today? And I'm not saying we are the most successful or we are the top of the top, but what keeps us going every single day? What keeps Rick on that right path to continue leading the way he's leading and continuously want to be that entrepreneur that, it's not just enough. There's always another step that you need to take because you can impact more and more people as you go. So take me back what you did before real estate.
So, that was an awesome intro. It's like, where do I go?
Hold on, can you go back and repeat step one?
Yeah. That was awesome. I was like, whoa, okay. There was a lot. That's awesome. Thank you for having me here, first of all.
My pleasure.
Before real estate, I'll fast forward. I wasn't the greatest student and I was a worse employee. I remember I worked as an accountant.
You were an accountant?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I was an accountant. I was a smart kid, but I just didn't like the corporate world. So I remember 1 hour lunches turned into 2 hour lunches.
Yeah.
5 6 days turned into 10 sick days, right? It's like I was skipping school all over again, right? But I was in accounting, but then my real estate license changed my life.
Who was it that got you into real estate?
That is awesome. And the honest answer is, there's friends that I grew up with, one in particular that got his real estate license and he was doing well. And I was like, damn, he's kicking ass. If he can do it, I can do it. So I'll give him all the credit. And then I got my real estate license. This is back in 2004, 2005. And the first 6 months I didn't sell any houses. I was going to quit, but then I didn't. And that's when I really started narrowing down and finding my niche. My niche was for sale by owners. That's
during the 6 months that you didn't sell anything. How did that pressure feel? Did you have a family then?
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I didn't have any kids. That's for sure. So I had my own. I lived on my own. I had a mortgage and everything, so it didn't feel the greatest because I had to pay the bills. But I was young enough where I could take those risks.
Yeah.
But it felt like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. I felt like a failure.
Did you not feel like I can't do this anymore? I got to jump to a different career.
Yeah.
What was that sticking point for you? That no, I'm going to try again.
Ultimately, it comes down to faith. But I'll tell you a story. I didn't sell anything for 6 months. And then I sold I got four deals done.
Wow.
Wow, my ass. Listen, I'm telling you, I cannot make this up. I got 4 deals done. I got my very first early experience on what mutual releases are.
Oh.
Can you believe it? 1 got a mutual release. I was like, okay, that's fine. I got 3 more. 2, I got all 4 mutual release.
Whoa.
That's when I was going to quit.
That's defeat at its finest.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane. Finally.
Now it's like, okay, you give it to me and now you take it away. But here's the answer to the question. I looked at it different. I was like, I'm good at sales. I'm too good at sales. I'm like, I'm making people buy that don't want to buy.
Yeah.
Because I knew real estate so well and I knew it was good for people.
Right.
So I would get people in a transaction after I don't want to do this. So Nadia, I looked at it in the fact that, okay, let's just readjust. Let's find the people that do want to buy and let me educate them. So that was it. It could have been for a bit I was like, oh man, this sucks. Oh, how horrible is this? but I looked at it in the positive. I always had that ability to look in the positive. I learned that from my grandfather.
Wow.
And it was like, okay, I must be doing something right.
Right. That's amazing. So now you fast forward, become a successful real estate agent. You start building your team. You are at eXp Realty, and you're working hard. Why take on the responsibility of having a team?
That is an awesome question. You might not get the answer you like here, and you're going to do this podcast with so many people. You're going to have so many opinions. Mm-hmm. For me, the team model wasn't great. Okay. So when I was at Royal LePage Remax, I started a team. It was a top 1% or 2% team in the country all the time. Mm-hmm. I'll give a shout out to Craig Proctor and that coaching program that I learned a lot of how to build a team. I was in the Titanium program. I learned really quickly through that program and all these amazing people I was with that at best you're at a 20% gross profit. So I'm gonna lean into now the eXp team in a second. But prior to that, I was like, okay, so you're telling me if I make $1 million, I'm only keeping 200,000? That didn't sit right with me.
Right.
And I wasn't good enough to go to 4 million and 5 million, like some of these awesome team leaders are. So if you're good enough and you're gonna put in the blood, sweat, and tears like some of the awesome teams in our organization, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to $4 million GCI and keeping $1 million, because that's a pretty good life.
Yeah.
I was hitting $1 million, 1.2, and then keeping 400,000 because my coaches were like, you got to get out of the business if you're a team leader and just work on the business. Don't work in the business, work on the business. So I'm like, I have two choices. I could keep going that way. And in 2020, I met an awesome guy named Jay Kinder, right? I got on a Zoom with him.
And it was done after that.
And it was done.
Jay's the best.
Jay Kinder is the best. And I'll tell you how that went. It was really funny. He gave me the pitch and I was like, okay.
You guys are worlds apart. How did you meet?
Through Andre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Andre is awesome too. And then eventually Pierre. And that's one good lesson I learned from Jay on how to organize a team.
Yeah.
Because even though Jay was my biggest influence, he partnered me with Pierre. But anyway, that's a different story. So he broke down rev share to me. I'm like, Jay, no way, right? And he's like, yeah, this is what it is. I won't share numbers, but he's like, this is what you can do. I'm like, you did that? You're going to show me how to do that?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I'm like, where do I sign? Yeah. And then the third question I had was, is this sustainable? Because when I first looked at eXp, it's like the 16K, but I really didn't understand that when you look at the FLQA unlocking, a lot of agents aren't unlocking. So eXp is getting paid in a big way outside of the 16K. I'm like, wow, this is sustainable. Mm-hmm. I'm in.
And then so you took this team that really was not profiting as much as you wanted it to for the amount of time that, you're putting into it. You are at eXp with a much bigger organization, but then you were able to give that opportunity to every single member of your team.
You nailed it.
And that is what a true entrepreneur leader does, is that I don't grow just for myself. I grow to be able to contribute to my organization's lives as well. Yeah. So how has that changed when it comes to culture and loyalty with your organization?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think at the end of it, it's all about contribution. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was younger and I wanted to get rich, and I used to listen to all the self-development books, and all the self-development people would say, it's all about giving back, it's all about contribution. I'm like, is that the trick on how to get rich? Yeah. But then after you make a little bit of money, it is all about contribution. And the beautiful thing about eXp, and it's just sincerely the truth, I'm not saying that because I'm in it, you make money while you're changing lives.
Yes.
And the loyalty comes from when you're changing lives. Like, I could show you text messages that I got this morning of people saying how their month looked like and saying, Rick, thank you.
Yeah.
And every time I get on stage and on this podcast, you'll hear me saying, Jay, thank you. Pierre, thank you.
Yeah.
And every event we go to, we notice people are thanking each other.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
It's because I actually mean it.
Yeah.
I've never been in an organization where people are grabbing the founder and crying on his shoulder at events. We all love Glenn Sanford.
Yeah. Yeah.
My past brokerages, I didn't really care for the founder.
Yeah.
It's because he created something where everybody wins.
Yeah.
And when you create something that everybody wins, and then entrepreneurs like me find it and we all just entrepreneur, we end up winning. Mm-hmm. And the people that believe in us end up winning.
Absolutely. The people, the organization that you've created and the opportunities that you've given everybody else. And I think, because we're all business owners or owners of the company, it is in our best interest to all help each other out. And I've been with other company for 17 years. The amount of collaboration that happens at EXP is second to none. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah. Where you can pick up the phone, call someone that could be all the way across the world, and they'll pick up the phone, they'll answer your questions, they'll help you, they'll listen to you. I find leadership is lonely. When you're leading, it's lonely. But when you can depend on other leaders in the industry as well to have your back, it really helps you, because there's a lot of times that you just want to throw in the towel and say, this isn't working out for me. Just not going to do it. But what keeps you driven to continuously want to impact other people's lives that you haven't touched yet?
Two things. One is, the most important one. In 2011, my older brother passed away with brain cancer. And I would be lying if after I went through my sadness, like I was holding his hand like this when we had to pull the plug. And I was like, after I went through the shit that I went through, I was like, whew, my hero is gone. And life is short. Mm-hmm. One thing that I learned from Nadia is I don't know, because in his internal compass, his soul probably knew he had a really short time here. So he had kids early, he had that. He had a family early, he bought his house early. But one thing I learned from that guy, God bless him, is he always helped. Yeah. Man, I was that kid in the mall. If I seen someone that I knew, I would just put my head down. I didn't want to make conversation. Yeah. I'm like, don't bother me, right? Yeah. I don't know if it was insecurity or whatever it was. Not him. Yo, if you guys were both in grade 11 or grade 12 or even now, and he saw you in the mall, he'd be like, Nadia! Yell across the mall, give you a hug, and just help.
He just had that kind, beautiful soul.
Beautiful soul. So now, after that, I think while I was holding his hand, he gave that to me. I really feel that he gave that to me. That's so amazing. Now when people say that about me, like people in the office will always say, Rick, you did this, you changed that. I started feeling like in alignment. Yeah. Right? And then I started feeling that, okay, if I'm helping them and they're feeling like this, I want to do it more. But if I'm also incentivized financially to do it too, it's like putting your mask on first. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, holy, I can do it more. Because if I wasn't getting paid, then I couldn't. Because I would have to go get a job.
So you need to provide for yours to be able to provide for others.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing is, I think it's my sole purpose to help, I think, that I got from him. Thanks, bro. And then could have been selfish and done a lot of cool things. Traveling the world, buying my Ferrari.
We are so thankful you gave him that gift.
Yeah. And then second, I would say it's the Kobe Bryant in me, who also that I just love, just leaving it on the floor. Yeah. Like I don't want to have regrets on my deathbed. I know. I'm like, yo, like you, we talk all the time. Yeah. Me and you are connected. We're the same.
Yeah, I don't want to be laying there and regretting that I could have helped someone and I didn't. And that's why along the way, I do my best to try to lift people up and help them, especially, I remember my kids, you see pictures of my kids, they look like my friends. So growing up, our house was always open to everybody. All their friends had our garage code. They would come in anytime that they want. As they got older, I realized that, when their friends had problems, they would come to me. Yeah. And I loved it. I absolutely love that they felt like this is a safe zone, safe home for them until now. Like a lot of them, when I see them, it's, you're like my second mom. I absolutely love it because you made an impact on someone's life. Even, it could be even a sandwich that I made. It could be a hug that I gave. Life is so beautiful that, you know, to hold grudges or to be upset every single day is only going to get in the way of you, you know, climbing that mountain to reach the level that you want to reach.
Yeah.
And, you know, people say, and I don't know how you feel about this statement, is does it ever get easier? And my response is, no, you just get stronger and you get more resilient to it. So it becomes easier that way.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier. Actually, it gets harder because you end up taking on more.
It does. But then you become so strong that you're able to take it. You're like...
Yeah, it's like, it's experience.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, I think it's also, when you become someone or something, you magnetize other people, places, and things like that.
Yes.
The whole manifestation, attraction thing. I'm attracting people like you in my life, not just because we work in the same thing, but as a friend. I'm attracting people into my life that are like all of a sudden, which never used to happen before, is like propelling me even to higher degrees, right? And it's because you really attract who you become, right? So now when you become that person that can do these things, it becomes easier because of the experience, like you were saying, but you also build a bigger foundation and network of like-minded people. You're in totally different rooms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like when I'm in the room with you and other people that are like-minded, I feel like, she gets it.
Yeah.
She's actually doing the same thing.
Yeah.
She's feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm in the other room where it's full of like, I don't know, lazy people that don't want to do things. Not that there's any, hey, you do that. But I feel awkward in that room.
Well, I mean, there are rooms where people are going to look up to you, so you have to be that strength of the room. Then there are rooms where you're looking up to people, so they're your strength that you can show a little bit of weakness. But there are rooms that you cannot let your guard down because so many people depend on you in that room.
I love that. Yeah. And it kind of like, I'm smiling because it reminds me of one thing that I like to share with people. People always look at the mentor or the coach, right? But one thing that I want anybody that's watching this or anybody that encounters me to really understand, the best mentors and coaches are always, without question, the best students. They will always want to be the least in that room. They want to be surrounded with better people. They're the ones that are always listening to the books. They're the ones that are always paying for coaching.
Yes.
Because they are the best students.
They want more.
They want more, but they understand that like success is in learning, not teaching. And when you learn enough, other people want to come to them and teach. So like this whole thing of me becoming a coach mentor in this organization and beyond was a new thing to me. I was like, wow, really? You don't listen to me?
And I think, you're doing it in a very different way that, the industry needed. You're not, follow this system. It's, you kind of read the room, and every person you train and you coach them differently because they all understand differently.
And everyone has their own superpower.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone has their own superpower.
Everyone shines in a different, in a different way.
Talking about your family real quick. You guys are a good looking family, man. What the heck is going on?
I don't know.
All of you. I'm like,
they are gorgeous.
You look like their sister, older sister.
I love them to pieces.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night, I have the pleasure of having dinner with them. Speaking at an event tomorrow for one of our agents and then having dinner with them. I have to say, I don't know where I would be without my kids.
You're such a good mom.
In general, thank you.
Yeah.
They have been my driving force. And, I say this all the time. I've wanted a family since I was 14 years old. I was never blessed with a good family growing up.
Wow.
So I've always wanted a family of my own. And I've never, ever felt what true love is until my first child was born. Wow. And I've never felt loved in my life. When he was born, I'm like, wow, this is what it feels like to care, to protect, and to love and to feel loved. And forever, I am grateful for my kids, all three of them. They all add value. I'm very blessed that they're smart kids. Aside from being smart, they're good human beings. They are the people that if they see you at the mall, they'd be like, hey, way!
My kids too. Yeah.
I met your kid.
Yeah.
Oh, your son is so handsome
Yeah.
and tall and very outgoing.
Yeah, no, both of them, they're like straight A's, they're doing really good. And I think like for both of us, for all parents, that's your biggest,
It really is.
that's your biggest thing, right? So it's like, you nailed it. All that aside, good looking, smart, all that stuff. You want good humans.
You really do.
You want good humans.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people measure their successes by money, house, cars, clothes, travel. I don't care where I am with that. My success, and I'm sure you feel the same way, is because we have children, we measure our success with our kids. No matter how much money you have, if they don't have good health, you got nothing.
Health is
if
everything.
they are not, if they are not on the right path in life, if they are not following their dreams and ambitions and being good people, we haven't done our job.
They're learning from you.
And
They're
you.
watching you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're always
Set a good
watching.
example.
I see a lot of parents, they'll tell their kids one thing, but they're not doing the same actions, and that doesn't work.
It really doesn't. Like kids are sponges. They absorb everything. And, for a second to think that kids don't actually understand their surroundings. I remember when I was 3 years old, just before my parents got divorced, my grandfather was living with us at the time. And I don't remember my mom leaving when they got divorced, but I remember my grandfather laying in bed. He had cancer and he died living with us. And I remember that at 3 years old.
Wow.
So as much as, and that takes me back to my past in psychology and being a school teacher, of how much kids absorb information, and all this information comes out when they're older. So they need, we could do a whole podcast on this. But
I'm learning a lot about you.
Yeah, I let out little pieces every once in a while. But we lived in Lebanon during the war in the 80s. And I still remember the war. I remember the sounds. I remember my grandpa moving in, passing away. I remember his funeral. And again, I don't remember my parents getting divorced, but I remember waking up and my mom wasn't there. Wow. So, and it's amazing how much children absorb that information, and it's always there. It's just what you do with it.
Did she come back? Were you?
No. She actually left the country with my younger brother. My older brother and I stayed with my dad, and we lived there till about 86, and then we moved back to Canada. And then I didn't get to be with see my mom again until I had my first son.
Wow.
Yeah. So, for me, I look at it and I know people face a lot of struggles in life. And,
Did you have a lot of resentments and stuff?
I wouldn't say resentment. I would say I'm thankful.
Wow, what a way to look at it.
That's awesome. I'm so thankful for the childhood my parents gave me. Because, some people look at it and pave their path according to the childhood that they had. I paved my path because of my childhood to be a better person than they both were, to be a better mother than they both were, and to be a better parent than they both were. And so for me, I was never the person that sat down and cried. I was never the person. I knew that I needed to work on myself, and I knew I wanted to be that female leader that my kids admired. And
that you are.
Thank you. And it's just, that's what kept me, going, is having them. So I'm very thankful.
I unveiled something in this. I got an answer for people now when they say, hey, what makes people successful, or one of the answer. And I learned it today from both of our answers. No matter what the situation or the circumstance, if you can put a positive spin to it, you're golden.
You have to.
You have to.
Yeah. Nothing is going to change the past. Nothing is going to go back to your childhood.
So is that a learned behavior, or is that
It's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
And it really helped me, taking psychology in university, because it allows you to build, it allows you to understand. It allows you to, you're taking it, you understand the human behavior, you understand, I can't control what my parents did. I cannot control why they were not better parents. I can't control what they put me through. It's in the past. So I just have to recognize it and say, what am I doing with it? You know, am I going to be a better person, or am I going to wallow in my sorrow for the rest of my life? Can't do that. I've got 3 babies that depend on me. I got to put it behind me and become stronger, or else it's going to eat me alive.
Wow.
So you learn to move on. You learn to become a better person because of that. So
Talk about a why.
Talk about a why, and that's why I always use them as the why. But Rick, dear friend of mine, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be on the podcast today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And I've learned a lot about you. You've learned a lot about me, and you know, we're so grateful to have gotten to know each other. I mean, EXP was a driving force for us to get to meet and get to know each other and support each other in everything that we do. And this is what EXP is about. You know, is bringing good people together and just enhancing people's futures and giving them the opportunity.
It's a movement. I learned that from Brent.
Definitely.
It's a movement. And
Absolutely.
I didn't understand what people meant, but there's some things about this company that you just have to feel and you can't explain.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Rick Dhillon, dear brother of mine.
Thanks, guys.